Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Watcher, on the show this evening. It's all better in Southside. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm excellent, mate. Aye.
I'm good for a Monday, mate. Good for a Monday. Southside?
Aye, mate. Good to be on. Good to be on with Albert. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Yes. How's the one on the south side?
Aye, no bad, mate. No bad. Enjoyed my wee festivities yesterday. Maybe a bit of hospitality. So enjoyed that.
Nice. How's this book of yours coming on?
Oh, I'm into only the 4th chapter, mate.
All right. I don't think we come into chapter 7 and 8, Albert.
Chapter 43 we come in.
Yeah, who's playing you in the film, Albert?
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Tom Cruise for me, mate. Southside.
Aye, is that what you're going with? It's going to be an epic anyway, I'll tell you that.
I believe Big Stevie wants to play himself.
Aye, I think he is. They'll not believe that that's actually fact. I think it's fiction by the time they'll finish the book.
Yes, right, okay, we digress. Right, okay. A good and bad dog last night. I'm going to say something. You know, I've mentioned this before, and I think the hangover had lifted after the Malmo game, and for some reason, I think we've been out in the sauce again, and we've ended up with a bigger one. It was a bit flat yesterday, the timing of the kick-off didn't help for anybody. You know, I think they forgot the game's about supporters. And also Glasgow being a modern city in the 21st century, yeah. Kind of had a major sporting event too in the same day. And then there we go. But that's another story for another debate. But anyway, the game started we started okay, mate.
The opening 10 minutes was fine. Absolutely fine. Scooting the ball about. Good tempo. Everybody involved. We Raskin running about, doing well. I actually thought he had a really good game. I thought it was fine. As you say, the atmosphere, it wasn't up there, but it was circumstances dictated that. No, I mean, it's one of the things. But you say they forgot about supporters. I've never remembered. So they forgot about supporters years ago, mate. It's just that we're just a side issue now. We don't count.
I don't disagree with you, mate. Don't disagree with you. Aye, Southside, we started okay, and there was a couple of incidents in the first few minutes where we could have done better and could have had a penalty kick. You know, sorry, that was later on the first off, but the first real goalmouth incident came about with Dessers. Corner came in, he rise, and look, it was a good cross. He was free, and for me, I'm not saying he should score, because the goalkeeper's there and there's guys in front of him, but he's got to hit the target.
Aye, the corner worked well. He got himself free, like you said. He got up pretty well for it, and I expected him to hit the target. But unfortunately for us, he headed it over the bar. And that was a chance gone for the Rocks, but it was a good sort of move for a corner kick. He got himself free, but we got to try and be clinical when they come along. And unfortunately for us, he wasn't.
I'm sure Dessers will be talked about as the show develops tonight, Albert. Not saying it was a total sitter, Albert, but I think he's got to hit the target. And then if you hit the target, you don't know what's going to happen.
He went up. I think he got under the ball, to be honest with you, because I seen he wasn't heading the ball. He was letting the ball hit him. He was just lets the ball hit off his head, and he's trying. I think what he's trying to do is loop it into the corner, the way it came. To loop it. I think that's what happened. But he never got a header on it. No, he's no bullet in a header or anything like that. It's just letting it hit his head, and I think he was just underneath it slightly. But anyway, it's still a chance, isn't it? If he just get up a wee bit higher, I think he might be able to get it done. I'm cutting him a bit of slack. But it was only a work corner for a change.
You're known for your kindness, mate.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Chapter 43, paragraph 7, mate. Verse 1 and 2, all bears kindness.
2 chapters. That's a lot.
So that was it. And then after that, so long after that, we started huffing and puffing a bit, all better. We weren't doing a lot. We weren't wanting our goalkeeper at all. And it was becoming frustrating.
We play neat, tidy passes, mate. With Davy patterns now, you can see it, and we're neat and tidy at times. We also lose the ball, but most of the times we're neat and tidy, but we're not actually penetrating. We're not actually putting any defence under real pressure. We're just moving the ball about for the sake of moving the ball about at times. And then you notice we're like the 18, well, if 20 yards out, if we do these square passes to each other, but nobody's ever running onto the ball to get a shot. It's always like you get the pass, you get the pass it like inside, and whoever they're passing it to is always standing still, and they're always square on. They're never moving, they're never running onto a ball. And when you watch them, some of the balls we get as well, when the players are coming short for it, they're always running away for the opposition goal with their back to goal. Now, you're talking about 18, 20 yards out as well. We never seem to get the defences turned. Barjami has got the brains to do it. Well, I don't know if we've got many players in the team that can understand what he's trying to do. He looks up and he sees the pass, but there's nobody else knows where to run to. I think he's going to get frustrated quite quickly, mate.
Yeah, listen, you're brought in the shape there, and Southside, if I'm playing in midfield and I look up and the two white men are out wide, which they are a lot, and you've only got Dessers and there's their midfield in front of you, and their defence, you've not got a lot to hit. Let's be honest, mate. Let's be honest. There's a problem with the shape, the way we play it.
Well, if Barron's got Raskin, it would have been last night. If he picked the ball up in the middle of the park, then you're looking for Diamande to go and find a pocket of space where he can play the pass. I know what you're saying. If the wide men are out wide, and you're looking for Dessers to be that and making a run, or you're looking for your number 10 to be in space to keep the ball moving and through the channels. But I just think it's a problem with it. We just seem to play a lot of long passes. Don't seem to play compact as a unit, as a midfield, for any length of time. You might see wee pockets of spells out, get a couple of players running close to each other and playing the wee passes. Now, I get that, but I just think we don't hunt down as a unit in the one space. Now, I think when we pick the ball up, we've always got to pass that 10, 15 yard pass. If you remember, Clement said there'd be no more, what was it called? No more shite passes, like square passes, didn't he? He said that would be forward passes. Now he said we would be playing. So you can see that when a lot of the players get the ball, they sort of want to play it forward quite quickly. But you've got to have passes that are on, players available. And I think that's sometimes where
a passer's only as good as his runners, mate.
It can be that you don't need to run and take loads of men on, because a pass can take 3-4 players out of a game with one good pass. So, but I just think that we're making the long passes are like 10, 15 years to each other. We're not playing wee 1-2s and wee sort of triangles and that. We've not got a lot of players that are always close to each other. And I just think that's part of the problem. And I think until he finds a proper number 6 ops, we're going to see this problem all the time anyway in the team.
I just think there's a lot of issues with domestically, mate, and how we line up, and it gives us problems because teams know what we're going to do and they just nullify it. Olga?
That's true, mate. I mean, we've always said that we don't like the system. But one of the big things you've got to understand about these low blocks, in any team, even the ones that are spending hundreds of millions of pounds, struggle to get by these low blocks. But the one thing that will beat low block all the time, and we don't do enough of it, is taking a man on. And we get 2 goals the other against St Johnstone there, because Cherney took his man on and beat him and scored 2 goals. We don't do enough of it. McCausland doesn't do enough. You've got to take the guy, and you've not just to take him on, you have to get by him sometimes. It's not just that, oh, I've took him on, but he keeps getting the ball off me. Barcelona done it in their heyday. They always messing about, always come down to Messi to do something brilliant. Just beat two guys and he's away. He's either through and scores, or he cuts it, squares it for somebody else to score. It's always the same, mate, when you get a low block. You look at Man City, it's always Foden or Grealish or somebody like that beats a man to make it all happen, to open up space, and especially in and around the box. And once you start taking people on and forcing them, you extend this force other defenders to come out of their position to cover the guy that you're taking on, and that creates a space in itself. We don't take enough people on. The whole team's like that, by the way. Diomande is the exception, but he tries to take people on in crazy parts of the park, and he's trying to take people on when he's not got full control of the ball as well. That's a wee bit confusing for me. But apart from him,
maybe if you start to getting the ball under control, mate.
Exactly, mate, because he never does look when he's got the ball under control. But you know what I'm saying about the low block, mate? You've got to take people on. It's just, that's a fact, mate. It's always been like that. But we seem to think we're going to pass from teams all the time. It doesn't work, mate. It just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. You'll do it maybe once, twice in a game if you're lucky. Even they're all going on about Hadji's pass. I don't want to jump ahead, but it's to prove this point.
Not even half time yet, and you've got Hadji.
No, it's just to prove this point. He passes a ball to Czerny. Everybody's saying it's a great pass, which it probably was. But Czerny still bring it under control and beating the guy to score the goal. I mean, that's what won the. That's what scored. I mean, that's why we scored, because Czerny beats the guy and scores.
I'm sure we'll come to that. So, well, just as I thought the half was going to peter out, Albert, Czerny, he scores a good goal. Listen, we've criticised him, we've knocked him, we've been honest in my assertion there. He started okay, and he's not been great for the last few weeks, but a nutmeg moves inside on his left foot and coming in for the right, he puts in the bottom corner. Good goal, Albert.
That was an excellent goal. Well placed shot. Absolutely excellent goal. Wish you could have done that against Leon and Malmo, but anyway, they're gone. It was a good goal, mate. And he responded well as well for the way he was playing against Leon. He responds. I mean, that's what Clement's going on about. That's what he wants to see. Everybody's entitled to have a bad game, mate. Let's be honest about it. But he responded well, and the wee nutmeg was superb. He's got the ball under control, and the shot well placed, mate. Quality finish, quality.
Aye, credit when it's due. Southside. By the way, I was thinking the game was going to peter out at half time. Nothing each, if I'm honest.
Aye, I was just thinking there, that boy Rabo on the YouTube channel, he said we should just sign Messi, Albert, somebody like him. That'll sort the problems out.
That'll sort the problems out.
But, aye, listen, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, Ox, what were you saying?
Just as Czerny got the goal, I thought the game was going to peter out.
Oh, up to half time, or the foot. Aye. Listen, it was a good goal. It was quick. He had to show something. He's missed 2 sitters in Europe. He's had a wee bit of criticism, and you were looking for him to sort of bounce back when you realised he was going to be starting. And listen, it's only against St Johnstone, but it got us on the road and it got us a victory and the 3 points. And hopefully it helps build his confidence a wee bit again. He is an intelligent player. He's got a good brain. I think if we could have maybe a player running off him when we're giving him the ball in certain positions, Tav was doing it a wee bit earlier in the season. He was sort of getting forward and helping out. We're playing nice wee 1-2s together, but then that sort of dried up a wee bit. So I think it's something we've not helped him the last couple of games with that sort of half the ball, but it's doing to him today a wee bit of magic, Oxen. Let's be honest, he went inside the ball and done what we've seen him do before. And the second time he goes out on the outside and scores with his right foot. So he took his 2 goals well, and it was a great pass for Hadji.
Well, let's do the first goal first. What is Ryan used to? Can we not get half time? Yeah.
We're saying things that we need to prove a point. We're picking part of the game that proves the point.
No, just let's walk through the game, and you can prove your point after we get the final whistle.
Over that time we'll forget. We'll do that sort of time. By the time you get that, forget what you're going to say.
You 2 need bigger tablets or maybe even suppositories, yeah?
By the time half time came yesterday, I had about 10 vodkas.
Right, so we gets a goal and we makes a couple of changes at half time. Diamandi came off. I thought he was poor, Albert, I've got to be honest. I thought the manager got it right taking him off. And we brought Hadji on and we took my cause on that. Phil, Big Phil, I know you listen and you've got my number if you want me to come up and do some sessions at the coaching. You know, I've said I'll do it for nothing. And but also, please don't put Ros McCausland out the left-hand side of the park again, Albert.
It's a waste of time, isn't it? And it's proved in time and time again. He's not doing the boy any favours. I know it's getting him a bit of experience, and you've got to experience all sorts of. I mean, you're a young player coming through and learning your trade, but it doesn't look good. At the moment, the team can't afford to carry passengers because we're not that good enough yet. But you're not doing that boy any favours. It just simply doesn't work.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I know he scored a good goal on Malmo, and he's then started the next two games on the left, domestic games. Yeah, and it's no work, mate. And when that for him, he shouldn't have been in the team, but we're not helping him because we're not giving him a go at his natural position or his favourite position. So we'll see where it goes. And with him and Dessers up top, mate, last night, and Barjami coming out of position a lot of the time with nothing, absolutely nothing against a poor side. So there's two substitutions were made at half time. It was good to Hadji back. He was playing in the number 10 role, and Barjami went out to the left. And obviously Barron came on and sat next to young Raskin with his usual energy. So you're thinking we're going to get a second goal, but no, we huffed and puffed and flattered to deceive again, Southside.
Aye, we did. Some of the combinations sort of probably we were making a few subs later on in the second half and all, but I thought Hadji done all right. I thought Barjami going out to the left didn't really create a lot, I didn't think. And I thought Raskin at the time was getting into the game, but there wasn't much coming for him, so I think we huffed and puffed a bit. Big Dessers wasn't doing a lot up front either. I think the man he'd come on, wasn't it? So I just thought the midfield just looked to be a bit more disjointed a wee bit.
The shape of the team went from bad to worse before the centre half. So one of the highlights of the game, the best pass of the game was in the first half with proper out of Cherny, Albert. And the best attacking pass was Hadji's pass to Cherny because it was quick and decisive and took a lot of players out the back posts and gave Cherny a chance to isolate the defender. Big centre half. Made it easy for him. I don't think his defender was proper. He took it with his right foot, mate. I didn't hit it brilliantly, but it doesn't matter. He put it at the ends of the goal, mate, too far away from him, and it was in the fourth corner, 2-0. Decent goal, decent move, and you're thinking, okay, let's calm down, get this game to bed and play some decent stuff, Albert.
The finish did show the rest of them. It's not always about blasting the ball, mate. It's about placing the ball away for the goalkeeper. And that's what he did. It's just a simple goal. He gets by the centre half, gets that wee half yard. Any good striker he uses to his advantage. He just taps the ball into the net. It's as simple as that, mate. Whereas other players we've seen in the past just want to blast the ball all the time. It's not about, all right, sometimes you need to blast the ball, but not all the time. It's about placing the ball. It was a good pass, mate. Good wee bit of play. I'm not going to complain about that. But you're right about losing control. I don't know. I still can't explain why we do that. I don't understand myself. I'm trying to figure it out why we lose control of the game itself. It all just seems to go all over the place for some mental reason. I don't know why.
Once the teams put other bodies into midfield, mate, we're totally outnumbered in there, and we gear up the hole in the middle of the park, mate, because your two sitters are right, get moved back next to your centre halves, mate. The number 10's up between, and then we've absolutely nothing in the hole in the middle of the park, mate. If you could take an aerial view looking down, you would see it, and it's pretty scary, really. But it's not maybe just me. It sees it like that Southside.
No, I noticed you can see it. I think probably behind Copeland and the Broomlin, I think you would see it a lot clearer. Obviously, we're sitting at the side, but you can see the big gap in that in the middle of the park at times. And that's why I think, positionally wise, when certain players are picking the ball up, we're too far apart. I think we need to come in closer as a unit. But listen, we've seen it work, the system work, and sometimes it's worked pretty well. But I still think we're lacking certain players in certain positions to make it really work if that's the system and the style we're going to play. Now it's just not ready for it yet, Ox. We know that. It's probably about a quarter of the way through a rebuild. But it is what it is, and he's going to stick to it, and that's what a lot of managers do. They don't change for their principles. And it looks like that's what we're going to do going forward.
Principles and stubbornness can be similar traits, Albert.
Well, one and one, or one. I was going to say one's good and one's bad, but I don't think the two of them are particularly good. But one will certainly get you your books, by the way. Stubbornness will get you your books. You're good being stubborn if it's working, but if it's not working, you need to do something to change it, right? That's what I think. I don't know. With that level, they don't. He's not the only one that doesn't change tactics. A lot of them don't change their tactics, but I'm with you. I just think that we just the whole part just looks wide open to me, and good teams will just pick you off, no bother whatsoever. No even hard, mate. Don't even try hard to pick us off. And that's the concern for me, mate. It really is a big, big concern for me. If you look, remember we played Atalanta last season. I think it was last season. You look at the way they play. They fill the whole park. They look at they're filling the whole park. We don't. You look, we've got bodies missing all over the shop. But there you go. That's the way we want to play. But if he keeps it up, and the result, don't get me wrong, he's getting the result, so we can't really complain that much. But quite quickly, this could change quite quickly, and I might find he's still under pressure.
Yeah, so we get the goal, as I said, I thought we were going to go on, and then there was another big talking point, the Hadji tackle on, right. So we'll just yes or no. Red card, Albert?
Aye.
Outside?
Red card.
Aye, a full house, mate. I don't think there was any intent. He just lazy challenge, Albert. Lack of match practice will give him a bit of slack.
I think you need to give the St Johnstone player a wee bit of credit, because he sold him. He beat him fair and square, and he just lunged or opened his legs wide enough to try and get a tackle in, and mistimed it and caught him in the ankle. But it's a definite red, mate. Definite red. So
then the game sort of started. You're saying, "Oh, here if they get a goal, geez, oh," and they did get a goal, and it was marginally offside. And then after that, Southside, the game just petered out, didn't it?
He certainly did. I was surprised that Butland get beat at his near post. It really was. As soon as I seen it hit the back of the net, I was like, what's going on here? And as I said to you earlier in the day, I didn't see any offside at the time when I seen it, when I watched it. Normally you can see something, you think, he's off, but it must have been really tight.
Oh, it was extremely.
But we got away with one, I suppose, because it might have changed the game slightly. But it petered out after that, to be honest, didn't it?
Aye, so listen, we're agreeing that the Hadji was a red card. We're agreeing that the offside was. We were fortunate, but it was offside. You wouldn't have seen it, Southside, for two reasons, but we're not going to the second one. But Albert, just help me out here. I mean, as much as I'm going to be critical of Dessers, how was that no a penalty kick? How did it not go to VAR with the guys like tugging his jerseys as if you were playing trains, mate?
Penalty kick all day long, mate. Now let's get that out of the way. It was a penalty kick all day long. And Scottish referees, led by that incompetent clown Colum, have now decided how they're going to run VAR. That's why the referees should have nothing to do with VAR. The same referees that referee games and then they take a wee shot in the VAR. It shouldn't be like that, mate. It should be a separate team for VAR and VAR only, because these incompetent clowns are covering each other's backs here. And they've now decided, for whatever reason best known to themselves, I've got my own suspicions, but they've now decided penalty kick. Referees will not give a penalty kick in real time. That'll go to VAR, and these pulling the jerseys, we'll just ignore it. We'll not even say we're going to do a review now because there's too many penalty kicks. I heard somebody else saying that too many penalty kicks getting pulled, yeah, but because of the pulling jerseys. Well, you're pulling it's a foul. If you're pulling a jersey, it's a foul. This is what frustrates me with football now. What is a foul now? I see. Remember, we used to get the old instructions and all that. Obstructing a player. You don't get that anymore. That playing players off the ball. That used to be automatic foul. No anymore. It's no. I don't get this. Pulling jerseys. That's a foul. No. It depends how hard you pull it, or if the ball's coming anywhere near. If you're playing the player off the ball, it's a foul, and if it's in the box, a penalty, and that was definitely a penalty. But they've now decided, don't bother looking at it anymore. That gets us all out of jail. Remember Colin at Parkhead, what he done up there? He just lied and cheated up there. Now he's in charge of them all. So he says, I've got a way run about this where you don't need to give them penalty kicks. Just don't review it. You tell me, mate. I don't understand. And the commentators don't say it. They're no shouting for a review. They're not saying that should be reviewed.
One of the things that's been missed for that yesterday, when you see it for the camera angle, the referee is looking straight at it, mate.
Oh, he sees it. There's no doubt he sees it, mate. And he sees the shirt getting pulled. It's clear because they showed you for his angle. Definitely penalty kick. But there you go. No big hullabaloo about it. No big stink about it. It's Rangers, isn't it? We don't need to stink. We cause a big stink about it.
Aye, man. Strange decision, Southside. I don't understand it. And I've not been able to work out how it never went to VAR.
I don't know how it never went to VAR. See, when the cross came in, was it too far for all the defenders? They might see sometimes the height of the ball when it's coming in. If nobody's going to get it, they seem to sort of let Hodden and Jersey pulling maybe go. But let's know what will happen. Colin will do his review, which they do for most of the games, and about another week to 10 days down the line when they review the game and they come out with their answers about, because managers will have complaints about VAR probably in the last month. They'll come out and tell you that should have been a penalty. That's what will happen in the next few weeks. It should have been a penalty. Didn't get the penalty, but it should have been. You should have gave it.
It should have been. It would have been a red card as well, because that would have been that boy's second yellow.
Maybe that's why Dickinson never gave it then.
But the trouble is about the review in 10 days, 12 days, 2 weeks, whatever it is, they're not their own homework. It's nuts. It's just nuts, man. That VAR's there to improve the game, they tell us. The only way it can improve the game is if you do the review of the referees' performances and grade them on their performances. And if they start losing money because they get bad performance, because they're getting bumped in the leagues, you might see an improvement. But they're no. VAR up in Scotland's a waste of time, mate. Complete and utter waste of time.
Aye, well, and by the way, you can talk about VAR. That boy Dickinson, mate, we've seen him a few times at Ibrox, and I don't think I'm one for criticising referees. And he missed that penalty kick. He didn't get the Hadji decision right. He had to use VAR. I don't know what he does to referee a football match. He's never in control. It's a lot of decision range, and I think he's just a poor referee for both sides. Yeah, we should have a penalty kick, and Hadji should have been a straight red card. He missed the two big decisions over there.
He's and look, the one with the free kick we have. He comes after Boy's head out for a corner. No, that's not a corner. As you say, too many decisions getting missed. Some more important than others, obviously. But he's a bad referee. Bad, but he's one of many, mate. Let's be honest about it. As I keep saying, they look how many of these referees get put on international duty in any of the big international games or any big European competitions. Very, very few now. Very, very few, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so says we better get his phone lines opened up.
I suppose we better, yep.
Yes.
See what the people have got to say.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, okay. In normal circumstances, after a European tie, you take a 2-0 victory, you move on. You know, and there's a bit of gloom that I can't put my finger on, maybe after Thursday night. But we're back to domestic. I think some of the gloom and the atmosphere came with the kick-off time, Albert, as we said at the start of the show. The last thing I think you seem to think about is the paying public, yeah?
Well, it's come to expect this now, don't we? We just what's the worst decision we can force on these people, and they'll just turn up. Well, they got a wee shock last night because the attendance wasn't what it should have been. I mean, if it was in 5:30 at night, and let's be honest, I mean that run was done for what, 4 o'clock, something like that. It could have been a 5:30 kick-off, no bother, mate. At the latest, but they didn't want to do that, do they? So again, no consideration, mate, none whatsoever.
No. Right, okay. Come and join us, give your thoughts. Listen, we're going to have to talk about our centre forward, mate, and it's only my opinion. I don't dislike the big chap. I think he could be, if we're honest, he's a squad player, maybe. And he'll have his moments. But the trouble I think you've got is he's either 7, 7.5, or he's 2. And there's no level of consistency. And in the last 3 domestic games, he's been absolutely appalling. And there's no focal point up there. So you don't have that spearhead, mate. You don't have that guy running defences. You have somebody who's doing too easily. He's not going to go away from him out of the tap and run away and score. He can't link the play consistently because that's maybe part of the issue. So outside that, you see him doing it sometimes. You think, everything's all right, but he doesn't do the basics consistently, and it leads into problems. The ball never sticks. He doesn't go for trying to take it in as a traditional centre forward at any height. You don't need to be big to take the ball in. Yeah, you don't need to be 6'4" centre forward to take it in and link the play. And then when he does have the poor performances, he's a 2 out of 10. And 3 2s out of 10 performances just isn't acceptable, in my opinion. Now, I know we've only got a young man who wasn't much better when he came on. He's a young man that we've not seen much of, and we'll see how he goes. We know we'll get injuries with Danilo, but we cannot be through the season like this, mate. It ain't right, and it's no helping us, and it's a major part of your team.
Well, you always look at the start of the season and you look at your number 9 and you think how many goals will he get this season, because he's usually going to think he'll get you 20, 30 goals. He's the only player we've got that's fit and going to turn up. He's 6'4", he's a big lumpy lad, but in the last 3 games he's been really, really poor. And that's the thing. We've not really got anybody that's putting pressure on him to replace him either. I think he tries. I'm not lacking him for any effort or anything like that. But it just does to do the basics well at times. And when you see him in the last 3 games, when you're looking for him to do the basics right, he doesn't. And yet you look at him against Malmo and he done everything right that night. He had the wee touches, the wee flicks and everything came after him. And that's
7.5 out of 10.
Aye, and that's the thing. But we really have to go and get a striker in January, even if it's on a loan market, somebody that can come in and do a job, or we need to try and purchase a striker because he needs help. And to be honest, when he's having these games, and we need to be able to bring a striker in that we can say, right, he can come in, he's more likely to get a chance of scoring. I think the man is miles off it, let's be honest. Daniel's still back out injured, and we don't have that replacement. And when you had Tom Lawrence out the team last night, and Dessers having the type of game that he had, then that's a big worry for us because they're the 2 that have been actually scoring. We've had the odd goal for somebody here or there, but that's the thing that the whole team needs to do, Ox. We need to get goal scorers for Cherny like last night, more regular. Midfielders need to start scoring, wingers need to start scoring, defenders need to start contributing. Because if Dessers is having the type of games that he's had the last 3 games, then that's the worry. We need other players to step up and come in and not only take his position off him maybe, but to score goals like Cherny did last night,
Well, Well, to be fair, he never started against Higgs. Ignaman did, you know.
Aye.
Aye.
But
You
you
know,
know yourself, he's touching Everton's. No, Everton we spoke about
Aye.
opposite about him is when he's having the nights, the 2 out of 10s, 3 out of 10s, his touches off. The thing that kills me, I watched him last night. See when they kicked a big high ball up to him, and he even done it on the Thursday night against Leon. He sees it coming. I mean, he's 6 feet, 3 maybe, Tessers, and he's backing in. He's never going to jump and try and header the ball or try and back in that he can bring the ball down. He just backs into the player until the guy sort of moves them out the road and just headers the ball. And that's the thing that annoys me about him at times like that. And that's just a basic thing. But he doesn't seem to want to do a lot of aerial duels with centre backs when the ball's high and they're getting knocked up the park. He just backs into them. And I've watched him do it loads of times. So it's another flaw in his game, I think.
Albert.
I've had my say on him many times, mate. I just think he's a bad player. It's simple as that. His moments where he reflects now and again, you go, that's brilliant. But that's not what you're looking for a centre forward. A flick now and again. You're looking for him to lead the line. And as Southside was saying, win the ball in the air, bring it in. You're saying bring it in, hold the ball, play players in. It's the old-fashioned lead the line. He just doesn't lead the line good enough for me. And this pointless running he does, it's just irritating. Running to close a goalkeeper down. He knows he's never ever going to get that, but he just does the run anyway. You're going to just wasting energy, mate. What are you doing that for? You're no read the situation. Anticipation is a big part of forward play, and he doesn't anticipate anything. So he starts the run before the ball gets to whoever's going to clear it, whoever's going to go on it. So by the time he go on it, he's up next to them. He never does that, mate. Somebody go on the ball, then he starts running. You're going miles away from it. And he just does that, and he's no pace, sprint speed anyway that I can see. He just runs about aimlessly to me at times, and I just think he's a bad player. He scores the goals, not now and again, but there's going to come a time when you're going to need him to score the important goals, and we're getting close to that time now. So the season's starting to pick up pace now. I know these international breaks keep breaking it up, but you're going to get him realise that he's not going to score well, he might. I hope he does. As we said last week, I hope he proves his all right. I hope all the players prove his all right. But for me, he's just a bad player, mate. I can't say anywhere in the boy. I just don't see a player there. I don't see a good player there. I see a player there.
Yeah, it's such a. I mean, all positions are crucial, but when you're playing as a focal point in number 9, Albert, you know, you've got a responsibility. You're the main goal scorer in the team. And when the ball's played up the park, you're not going to keep every ball. We accept that, and you're not going to get every ball for a start. But there's basics in what you've got to do, you know. And when he's having a bad game, he falls so far. You know, he's so far away from pass marks. It's scary at times, mate.
He's not even occupying defenders. That's another thing. You can have a bad game at centre forward, but you can occupy the centre halves. You can give them a hard time, mate. But he doesn't even do that. He doesn't do that. He's just, as you say, falls out, just completely disappears out of the game. And then when you're going forward, you're a man down right away. As we said, with your game, if you're wanting wingers and all that to cross the ball into the box, he is the man. And if he's having a nightmare and no winning anything, it's pointless. The whole forward line's dysfunctional then. It's not working, absolutely. Because we've not got enough runners for midfield either. You don't see Diamondi and you don't see Barn or Raskin getting in the box to take a cross ball on or to take a shot or whatever. Very rarely, maybe Diamandi now and again, but Raskin and Barn, very rarely you see they two get in. That's not their game. That's they work their socks off all over the place. So it's to me it's dysfunctional. I don't see it working, mate, with him. But again, and the boy Igaman, I don't see the point of keeping the boy in the bench and bringing him on the way they're doing. The boy should be in the B team getting game time. You can see that's what he's needing. That's all he's needing. Just get him game time, and he's not going to get it sitting in the Rangers bench, coming on for 20 minutes every other game. It's not even every game. It's just every other game. He's never going to get up to speed. He's got to get games, and there's no reserve football, and you're not going to loan him out. So put him in a B team. He plays every B team game. Get his timing, and that's another thing. Timing, there's a thing. I don't think anybody knows knocking how that timing's a big part of every player, because you said it the other night. They scuff shots all the time. Mega Man does it. Dessers does it. They all do it. I'm going, why? Because it's called timing, mate.
Dear man, Dave McCausland, mate.
It's timing, mate. Their timing's miles out. And I'm saying
professional
myself,
football players, mate. Professional players training all the time. It's poor, mate.
Well, that's Auchenhowie, mate. That's the coaching at Auchenhowie. You're saying, why are these boys not? Why is their timing out? Their timing, they shouldn't be out, but it's out, and that's why they're scuffing the shots. And they're not just the only two. I think the whole team's practically like that. Look at Diamante. When he came into the team at first, he's scoring goals for the edge of the area. If you remember the crisp shots, now he can't hit the ball to the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he had a shot for, I think, 25 years, and was lucky he reached the byline, you know.
It's pathetic.
Listen,
Anyway.
So said we're going to talk about the coaching staff group stroke manager. I mean, look, domestically, the results since the last international break have been fine. We've had a mixed bag in Europe. One great result, one poor result, yeah. We've made a lot of chances in the 2 European games. But if you take the 3 domestic games, Dundee, Hibs, and St Johnstone last night, we made more chances against Malmo in that one game than we made in the 3 games when we scored 6 goals, mate. Yeah, you know, which we're not making enough chances domestically. There's something wrong with the shape of your team, in my opinion. If somebody sees it differently, and then with the personnel not playing well in this shape, you'll get double whammies all the time, mate.
I think we could, if we had a full team, a full squad fit, I think we could probably pick our best 11. And Maesties would be pretty close to getting the 11 or 10 out the 11 probably right. We've still got about a settled 8 or 9, I think.
Go on in. Give us it then.
I think what he's done, what he's normally done, if you look at it, was he said Butland in all the time. He said Suter and Proper together. Yefty will be your left back and has been, apart from suspension. Tav, I think, will change or should change, but at the moment Tav's been there. He's been picking them. And Barron and Diamandi have been your 2 with Dessers up front. And probably Lawrence, and the last wee while since he's been contributing, you could say was your 10. And Czerny's been more or less ever present on the right. So, you know, Cortez would probably be the one on the left.
And Cortez is a better player option than Barjami.
I think Barjami will go into number 10, and I think when Cortez is fully fit, I think that's what will happen. But he looks like he's going to be a good while away. But I think when you look at it, that's more or less the strongest 11 that we've got when they're all fit. We took Tom Lawrence out the team last night. What you done is you put Barjami in there, but you had to put McCausland on the left, which I just think doesn't work. So
that was 10 out of 11 that you've named that started on Thursday night, mate.
Well, that's what he's probably seen at the moment. It's been his strongest starting 11. I'm hoping Casawira will come in and start playing regular. If Sterling is in at right back, I wouldn't be fussed if the big man even get a shot in at centre back in time and swapped with Suter or Proper if it has to be done. I don't know, but they 2 have got the jersey. Ballion's just going to rotate every now and again. He's only there just as if somebody really got injured. But I think Casawiro's proven that he could possibly go in there at centre back as well, where he had played. But at the moment, if he gets a chance at right back or Sterling going forward, then one of them should, because it's about making the team better and stronger. So, but we'll see what happens after the international break, what he does.
Albert.
I don't think he's building the team now. I think he's just mend and make do at the moment. I think that's what it's all about, mate. Because there's players playing a position all over the park, and I don't understand. I know the squad will go because I've got a list as usual, But it's just no balance, right? It's no right. But he's only had 2 windows, isn't he, to operate in with no money, and he's got the what do you call it, FFP to contend with as well. So we've got to give him time when it comes to the squad to build this. I think he's building a squad, to be honest with you. I don't think he's building a team. I think he's building a squad. It's the next manager you'll get, and it'll probably make it all work. But anyway, so at the moment, I think it's a make, mend, and do. Just, you'll do there, you'll do there. But one thing I do know, if he's really no intent in tapping Tav. If he starts putting Tav up one, that just tells you everything you want to know. He's just being, again, stubborn with that one. Tav should be at the team now, and Tav should be the backup right back, not the main event. If you're truly building a team, that is, in my opinion, you should be at the team now. That in itself starts to make things look a bit better. And then you're looking at, whoever comes in to replace Tav might not be as good as Tav. Definitely not going to be as good as Tav going forward and scoring goals. That's a fact. I don't think we could afford the right back who could do that now. But the fact of the matter is, you're trying to build a team. You've got to start somewhere. We've done it with goals, and we put goals in it. We've done it with Davis. We get rid of him and broke Proper in. So you've got Jeff there at left back, get rid of Barisic. So you're starting to build this team. So all these positions are starting to get the guys we brought to the club into the positions and keep them in. But Tav's not getting moved.
All right, mate. We'll be joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Knox, everybody. Hope you're all well.
You're very quiet, Smurf.
You hear me?
No, we can't. All better. Carry on, mate.
So that's my opinion on it, mate. We're getting there. We're building. But there's certain things need to happen. Like a man do. Get them playing football. Get them games. Just get them playing on a park. Get them on and get playing competitive game. Anywhere you can, mate. He plays. That's the way I'd be treating that boy, because you see him. There's something there in the boy, but you're going to have to wait too long doing it the way we're doing to bring him up to speed. So you're talking probably 3/4 of the season's going to be gone by the time the boy's up to speed. That's not good enough, mate. So things like that need to change. That's all I can say. Play McCausland on the right side if you're going to play him at all. Stop putting players out of position, because it doesn't help the situation at all. Barjami, we need to be careful with Barjami, because Barjami he'll get fed up quite quickly, mate. If this is the calibre of player he's got to play with, who can't read what he's trying to do. You're saying create this and create that. Sorry, he's saying create it, but if you've not got a player that can see the space that he sees and move into it, and he'll give you the ball. Because he will. I've noticed that about him. If you're in the space and you read what he sees, he'll give you the ball. There isn't any lawns like that delay, we delay. He'll give you the ball immediately, give you the ball. And that speeds up the play and makes it all look better. So there's certain things need to be done, but the players will go at the moment. Plus, we need to bring players in, mate.
Hey, Smurf, how's that, mate? Try again.
Well, hopefully it's a wee bit better.
You're still really quiet, mate. I don't know where you are or what you're speaking through, but you're quiet, mate. Keep going, mate. If you keep talking, we might hear you.
Right. Well, basically, I've got a question. I don't know. I was on a few weeks ago, and we'll talk about financial fair play. And you mentioned yourself that Fox said there would come a day. He perceived there would come a day that transfer fees and that would be scrapped. I seen in the news the other day about the boy Lansana Diarra. I don't know if you remember him, the boy who played with Portsmouth. And he's went to the highest court in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And he was represented by DuPont, the guy that represented Bosman. And he's won his case. And basically that court has ruled that the FIFA's transfer system, it was FIFA he took to court, wasn't it, UEFA, is illegal, and it's in danger of now being scrapped. Just wondered if you were aware of it and read about it, and what your thoughts were on it.
Yes, I'm aware of it, mate, and obviously it's employment law, very complicated, and obviously a lot it'll be for the European Union as well. which we're no longer party in the UK. And don't get me started in that, but that's another story. Right. But however, the devil will be in the detail, and there's been like players can get a month's notice and move, or what they're going to be contracted for, and it could affect a lot of things, mate. The devil will be in the detail, mate. But if it goes Pete Tong, and players get other powers that they can, as soon as a manager tells them off, they can walk out the door and put their notice in. The game's done, mate. The game's done. But listen, I'm sure we'll maybe talk about it, but as the international break develops. But I'll try to talk about, just concentrate so much on yesterday's game before we move on. But I'll let the boys come in and have a stab at it. Albert.
What did they take them to court for?
I think for the one a bit of word, trade, what is it? Restricted trade practices, yeah, that people couldn't move when they wanted to, which is unique to football. Yeah, you can't put your notice in and move. Yeah.
Oh, has he got a grievance? He never got a transfer?
Listen, there's always been going on for a while. I didn't read the full thing. I only had a snapshot of it because till it's all sorted, the devil will always be in the detail. Yeah. And that might take years.
Oh, it would be interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting if it did. Try to figure out how does it all work now? I mean, I know you're saying players can hold their notice, and that might come about. If that comes about, it's done anyway. I mean, it's just pointless, isn't it? It's just if they can walk away. To my mind, players have got too much power at the moment to down tools and. Whenever they want to, then I mean, they just do what they want and go where they want. I don't mind them earning their money; it's part of living, isn't it? But it'd be interesting to find out what it's all going to be if the transfer fees did get scrapped and that's them out the window. It'd be interesting. But I'll guarantee you one thing: it'll no benefit the smaller teams or the smaller leagues. I'll definitely no do that.
No, once it unravels, but we'll see what happens. Southside, any thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I just think the way it's set up, I don't think we'll be able to afford massive wages for what some of the players might ask for if there's no transfer fee involved. And the way Europe's set up, they're only set up to help the big five countries or leagues, so because they help England, Spain, Italy, France, and Germany, and that's who it suits when you're in Europe. It doesn't suit any of the rest of us, and they all get paid the big bucks in a lot of the leagues, and they're the ones with the big sponsorship deals and that. So, no, we just have to work within our means, and if it happens, it happens. It probably will happen, I think, in time. If it's challenged, then I think players will want to move. I think it was like in the old days, when you could just go and buy a player at certain times, and there wasn't an issue about it.
We're not talking about the scrapping of the transfer window. What they're saying here, that Harlan could walk into Man City tomorrow and say, by the way, I've got this contract. I'm going to leave next month. So it does away with transfer windows. And he gives his month's notice. And hypothetical here, because the devil's in the detail. And he says, by the 1st of November, I'm going to Real Madrid. See you later. Is that the point you're making, Smurf?
Aye, basically, I think the boy Diarra was with Moscow and he wanted a move, or he wasn't happy with his contract, wanted more money. And so they wouldn't let him move when he came away dry. So he down tools. So they fined him £16 million. They went to the European Court arbitration sport. They got half to £8 million. He wasn't happy with that, so he took it on further again. DuPont took up his case, and it's went to the highest court in Europe, which is in Luxembourg. Basically, he's found FIFA and breach of employment law in Europe, sort of thing, and it's deemed to be illegal. That's already passed now. He's won that case. I don't think there's another court they can go to. So, as you say, the devil's in the detail, but they're pretty well down the road with it, you know. I don't even know if there's points in law when they can even appeal. So it's I find it frightening, you know. But those clubs will just need to deal with it, wouldn't they? But aye, I was just, in one way you think, well, maybe it's a bit of an equaliser, and another way, you know, it's just going to be bad for all clubs. I think ultimately that's what's going to be the case, you know. Anyway, we'll wait and see how it turns out, eh?
Aye, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops, mate. I mean, obviously, it's a recipe of disaster for clubs and a big plus for players. But I think if the power tipped in and balancing the players, I don't know how the game's going to go, Albert.
Well, they've got too much power at the moment, isn't it? I mean, the only thing that I can see good coming out of that is the agents will take a hit on it, and that's a good thing because they get way, way too much money out of the game for doing practically nothing, mate. Let's be honest about it. They're just troublemakers all the time. That's what they're doing. So I can see that being a benefit. But again, you'll lose one thing and think it's a benefit. But again, something else will appear. It'll be wages. It'll be insurance policies. It'll be something, mate. It'll be something that the big clubs remain the big clubs and the wee clubs remain getting shafted. So I'll not be good for Scottish football. Put it that way.
I was just thinking, you wouldn't want to be Chelsea with all this going on.
You wouldn't want to be us either. We're trying to get players and flip them in a couple of years and they're about to scrap it.
Our neighbours have just been out and spent 11 million and someday it might be walking out the door tomorrow.
Aye, well, it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. But aye, look, our first love is the Rangers, but without the game, there's no Rangers, you know. So I don't know where it's going to end, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
I would just think the only way to redress the balance of power in that instance would be, I suppose, to put a wages cap on things.
Well, that's illegal as well, mate.
Is it?
You can't win, mate.
You
You cannot win. It sounds like me, Smurf. It sounds to me the players are going to get too much power. More power than they've already got. And if that happens, it's Ox. It's done, mate. It's finished. It's ridiculous to know what they get away with. But there you go. Bear in mind, by the way, we're the ones that are fitting part of this bill all the time. You know what I mean? The support. So we don't get a say in it, but.
Aye. Somebody falls out with the manager. Somebody has a good purple patch for a month. I'm talking about here, and they both put their notice in and walk out the club for different reasons, for nothing. Yeah. You know.
Aye. It's,
the only way it'll balance out, Ox, is because you're no paying money to bring them in, so you're not losing anything per se. You're just losing the player. But again, where does that end? It just means that anybody can go anywhere at any time.
Well,
It would just be a weird game.
Strange. But we'll watch our space.
aye.
I don't know if they have to buy out their contracts. Mr. Fox has put in something about buying out their contracts. I don't know because I don't know enough about it yet. As I say, the devil will be in the detail. And I take it it'll be challenged and you'll see where it goes. But it's went to quite a high level, as you said, Smurf. But we'll watch this space and we'll come back to it. But anyway, Smurf, what was your thoughts on last night, quickly, before we go to a tune?
Well, I never got to see the game. I was working.
All right, mate, no bother. We'll come back to you on something else. Yeah. But your thoughts on the result?
No, the result itself, it's just a workman-like performance. Just get the job done, go home. I suppose it was good to see that boy getting a couple of goals that will not hurt his confidence, will it? And we can build on that going forward. But what I've been watching in forums and different things, just seems they shape to the team.
All right, mate. All right. I know you're a military man. You watch everything but a watch, mate. 2100 hours, mate.
I got going.
You know what that means? Oh, time for Albert to go for a Jimmy. Let's have a tune. Let's hear from you.
I don't know if you can see what the Rangers really mean to me in these last few years. I've been afraid that we might drift away, so I've been telling old stories and singing songs that made me think about where we came from. And that's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. Of Brian Laudrup and Trevor Stephen. Big Marvin Andrews said keep believing. Davy Cooper on the wing. And we remember Gaza with great affection. The day the helicopter changed direction, and Jimmy Baxter was pure perfection. Super Valley scores again. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. You know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, gents. Ryan McPhail on YouTube, he's asking a question. This is one for you, and anybody wants to phone in with their thoughts on it. Are we making progress as a team, Southside?
Listen, we're on a rebuild. We've had spells, and you can see there's a bit of progression. There's times when we're looking a wee bit out of depth, but you can see there's progression, I think. So we're taking baby steps at the moment. We're not taking giant steps, and that's down to the fact that we need more players and a good few positions going forward. So I said it'd probably take him at least 3 transfer windows. So we'll take it for there. But you can see a progression at a point, but it is baby steps.
Mm-hmm. Albert, what's your thoughts on it? And we'll go to Smurf, mate. Smurf, what's your thoughts?
I think my thoughts are just that it's an evolution. It's get people at the door and try and play some of greater quality, and that's all been imbalanced. But I don't think the team looks terribly balanced as it is, and so I think the shape, etc. But
did you mention balance there? Did you mention balance? Are you with us, Albert? I don't know what's happened to him. Carry on, Smurf.
I'm here,
Oh,
I'm here, I'm here. I was
Somebody
eating a bourbon there.
all right. Somebody mentioned team being balanced, mate. Here we go. That's a segue for your good self.
We're all over the place, mate.
I will.
My list. I'm giving you my list. Listen to this, Smurf. We've got 2 goalkeepers. We've got 3 right backs. Tav, Nana, and Sterling. We've got 3 left backs. Ridvan, Jeffy, Frasers. We've got 3 centre halves. Balogun, Cropper, and Butler. We've no number 6. We've got 3 number 7s. Cortez, McCausland, and Mutondo. We've got 3 number 8s. I'm putting Diamandi in there. Raskin and Barron. We've got 3 centre forwards. Dessers, Igmani, and Danilo. We've got 3 number 10s. Lawrence, Dowell, and Barjami. And we've got 1 number 11, Cherny. I done 1 to 11s there the old-fashioned way, you know what I mean?
Aye.
And we've also got King and Hadji, and you can put them wherever you want.
Right.
So
So
we've done number 6s, and we've got players, and I put these players on the positions that they're predominant fit, like McCausland out on the right, Matondo out on the right, and Cortez out on the right. They're all right fitted, mate. But we're playing the 3 of them at times out on the left, which is I don't agree with. I know they like that to cut into their strong fit, but I don't go that, mate. It's just I don't think that works at all.
all right, mate. So what you're saying is that we've no left-sided forwards.
No natural left-sided forwards, mate. No. Apart from Cherny. Cherny's left-sided, left-fitted.
All right.
Yeah.
Put that biscuit away, mate. We can all hear you. Right.
I know. I've finished eating them.
South side. Thoughts on that?
No, he's right. I think
He's left. He's left.
he's left. Aye. I mean, Cherny should be able to play on the left wing. You think your wingers? I used to think we'd get down to the byline and whip a good cross in. If they come inside, then usually they sort of go across the park when they're on the left-hand side. Watched Kent do it for often enough when he was in the team. Seen Kent do it. So, no, we've got that. If you want to put players in their natural positions, then I would have McCausland added into the 10. I wouldn't have him out in the wing anyway. And then obviously if you're putting Hadji in there, I just think Hadji can play any of the positions in the midfield. So it wouldn't bother me where we played him. If we played him wide left, slightly on the left of the midfield, Diamandi could play out there. Seemingly played there at the club he was before in their system in a 3-4-3. So, but the manager sees it as it's going to be a 2 and a 1. But I'm going to be interested when he buys a 6 because we need a number 6. And I think if we got that Joachim Jordan for Seville, I think that was the ideal guy. He's played there all his career. He was 30 years of age, probably would have helped Barron and Diamandi. Because I think Lundstrom obviously topped me through the game, Sterling and that when he was in there, and different players that he played in the midfield. I think he sort of topped
if you play that number 6, mate, what happens to the 4-2-3-1?
Well, you'll either go to that. Well, I think he wants to play with wingers. That. Well, I had a discussion with Hadji, and he said, "See, we get a 6." I said, "Who's he dropping, Diamandi or Barron?" And he said, "We'll play 2 number 8s." And I said, "So what we got to do with a 10?" Because he usually plays a 10.
I think you all need to go to HR and get drug tested, mate. You just need players that can play the game.
Aye, but it depends if he's going to tweak the system slightly.
But what makes you think he's going to tweak the system when he's stuck for a year with a 4-2-3-1?
Well, when he sticks to it, then that number 6 comes in, and it'll either be Barron or Diamandi, then it'll get dropped to that midfield. because that's the two he starts with. And now when he gets his proper number 6 in, because he can't play with the two of them in, can he?
But so what you're saying is we need another sitting player.
Aye. We need
So
that number 6 that can do the job, control the game.
Let's you say you got John Lundstrom back and he's pumping for the 6 weeks on the run up to Seville, and you played him in there and you played him with Barron. Just hypothetical. Stick with me here, Albert. Yeah? The two of them are in sitting next to your back four. You end up with 6 defenders, a big space up to your number 10, the 2 wide, and you've gave up the midfield. There's nothing. All the problems come for your shape. It's not 6s, 8s. It all needs to be sorted out.
It will, but I'll guarantee you'll go and buy a 6.
So he's going to buy another sitter?
He's going to buy a 6. Do you think Barron's really getting the best out of him playing? I know he's playing well in there, but do you know, I think that's not really his position, is it?
Well, in 4-2-3-1, there's only 2 places that Barron can play, left sitter and right sitter. And then he's not going to play number 10. He's not going to, well, it might be better playing centre forward at the moment, Albert. But he's not going to play in the number 10. So he's going to be either playing left or right sitter. It doesn't matter 6 or 8. It's not what we would know traditional 6 or 8. It's this 2. It's 2 in there and they both sit.
I don't. Me personally, I don't like that. I don't think it works. But it's right. If you do sign the 6, he's going to be deep lying. But I agree with Southside. That's what he's going to go and do, mate. He is going to go because he said he's looking to get a 6 in.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter who you sign, right? So if you sign him and you play him with Diamandi, right? Is Diamandi, is he a sitter? I don't think he is. I don't think he fits into that system at all.
I don't know what it is. What is his best position? I don't know what it is.
So say that I accept your point. I think he will sign another midfield player. I think that's one he's down. But it's going to be, if you were picking the team this new, it'd be Barron and Ian and all that.
Aye, to a point, but I still think Diamandi is a good player, and they'll just have the odd half game, or maybe he'll be as good that night or whatever. His pass completion and all that in yesterday's game was pretty high. You know, although he wasn't that effective at times, but he connected the play, done things in wee spells, and then he looked out again for large spells and all, till he get took off. It's you'll get inconsistencies with young players and all. Maybe he's feeling the effects of that injury that he'd had before he played on Thursday. I don't know, but I agree with you. If he buys a 6, then Connor Barron, to me, is no that number 6. I think we should be trying to get him on the ball in the halfway line so he can try and get forward a bit and connect to play, or get up towards the edge of the box to get a shot off or something. We need him. We need one of them to be getting to the edge of the box all the time. There seems to be he relies on the 10, the 2 wingers and the striker to do the business, and the rest of them have just to go and give them the ball and use go and do a bit of magic. That's what it feels like.
Maybe talking about magic, we've been joined by James for Tennessee. Evening, James. He's dinged his old bit.
But he's not talking to us. He's playing. He's singing. He's on mute.
He's on mute. Yeah, he's doing a bridge, man. You know, but he'll be with us in a minute, mate. Listen, mate. It's only
I think we all agree. I think we all agree, Oxford, that the midfield's not working properly anyway. Apart from the forward line, but the midfield's not working properly anyway. It doesn't look. I've said it before. The big gaps all over the park. So I don't know where he's going with this. I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do. To be honest with you, I don't know if you know what he's trying to do, but I don't. And I just see it wide open, mate. I'm not the only one. Everybody else seems to see it as well. And if we can see it, other teams that we play can see it as well. And if you looked at St Johnstone there the other night, they were doing what every other team does. They just flick the ball down the wings where our fullbacks are supposed to be, and they're not there.
Hi.
All right, James.
Yeah. I was talking to Terry there, having a good chat with Terry. Very nice person. I said, how do you know come on? He said, I always say bad words, bad language. And I said,
do you maybe think Terry sits in the background because he doesn't want people to know who he is?
He said he likes chatting to people.
He does, but We're live.
And then he swore at me. I said, I'm going to tell him. He'll be in the bad books. He'll not get that job anymore.
No.
But anyway, I see Old Bear's on the programme, his little Teddy picture.
That's because that's his favourite clothing, a little Teddy.
Okay. And you've got a picture of the Rangers, the South Side's not got a picture.
No, he has, mate. He has.
Has he? Okay. Right, a few points I've got for you boys. Okay. First of all, Tavernier, I agree with Old Bear. I think the man's just scared to drop him. But it could cost him his job. But I'm not going to go on anymore about that. You know what I think of it. The other thing as well, with John Gilligan coming in, I hope he's going to speak out, because on Sunday I had a bit of spare time because our church meetings was changed. So I watched the other lot's game, and the referee assisted them by giving Celtic a free kick they should have never have got, and they played it really quick and then scored. How many times have they won that game in the last 5 minutes there? And the referees are very aggressive against us, I noticed. But with them, they can say, like McGregor can say anything to the referee, and they don't do anything. And sometimes they help the team. And the other thing is, the other point I want to make, why when we go to Parkhead, should we not have a different entrance than go through all these fans that abuse the players? Okay, and I've got another one, but take the ones I've given you so far.
What was your original point about John Gilligan, mate?
John Gilligan, I want them to speak out, to stand up.
Because you want John to come on and make a statement about Celtic getting a free kick?
No, I want to make a statement in general that the referees are very anti-Rangers. That, like, they can get away with, when they play and their captain can get away with saying anything and nothing happens to him. But when I watch the Rangers, Tavernier he just tells them to get the road, and other players, they seem to be very lenient with them, and they help them sometimes. I don't think they're fair. And also the fact that the Rangers players shouldn't go in that main entrance. They should get in a side entrance to avoid contention. Because there's a lot of contention when they go to play there. They shouldn't have all that bad language. They should get into a side entrance.
Right, I'll go to our bad language expert. He can take your first point about the chairman coming out and making some statements. Southside.
No, James, I don't think the chairman should say anything now. I think we've got other stuff to worry about. As for, I never seen their game, so I don't know when they've watched it. But listen, you've seen the decisions. Like the one the other night, they'll come out in a couple of weeks, tell us who should have had a penalty for pulling the jersey when Dickinson seemed like the angle he was at, seen it all day long, and we never got it. So, but listen, see if as long as you win on the park, James, that usually takes away from anything else that happens round about. And it's down to us to get back to winning ways, which we're doing, but we need to get the performances up and make them a bit better. So that's what I'm looking for now. And when the time's right, hopefully, in time we'll get a new CEO in, and then we'll maybe see the club starting to function the way it should in time. So John Gilligan's a good Rangers man. He's a good supporter of the club. He was there the first time running the board, done a decent job, and he's asked to step in, and he's stepped in and fulfilling a position at the moment. So I wouldn't be too critical of him, mate, to be honest. His heart's in the right place.
I think his main priority will be get a CEO, mate, and see where that takes him. Albert?
I agree with your point of running the gauntlet up there. I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's right at Parkhead, because it's they get special treatment when they come out of the Ibrox. Their supporters get a tunnel built for them and all that. Our supporters don't get that when we go up there. We get treated like crap up there, and I think we should be treating them exactly the same. And I also don't think they should be actually getting the main door at Ibrox. I wouldn't let them in there either. I would take them in the lavvy door anywhere, but take them in. They don't have enough importance for me to let them in the front door. But I agree with that. The referee one, James, I agree with you. I mean, Clancy, I believe, was the referee. And I'm led to believe that he was a season ticket holder at Parkhead. So that tells you everything you want to know. They're always grating and moaning about they've been unfair and they've been referees have been against them for 50 years. Remember Big McNeil coming out saying that the referees are against Celtic for 50 years. I mean, they win all these titles and all these trophies, but the referees seem to be against them. But we all know now why they've said that, because they've been trying to take your attention away from what actually has been happening up at the Chamber of Secrets, know what I mean, and the court cases that are now up and running. So you've got all that to contend with, mate. But the chairman coming out and saying something, I don't think it would be appropriate, mate. We better just keep them with powder dry, because the days are coming.
Well, could he not write? Okay, he doesn't need to come out, but could he not write to Celtic and say, we're not coming in that entrance anymore. We want a quiet entrance with no fans. What's up with that?
They don't need to write to them. They just want to inform the SFA what's going on, what everybody
Well,
knows what's going on. It's
well,
total,
inform the
it's
SFA.
sectarian, bigoted nonsense that's going on up there. And I've heard that racial stuff going on as well, but nobody seems to bother about it. The police don't bother about it. That never gets reported on. So it's been happening now for years, mate. And nobody bothers with it. Nobody.
I'll tell you
Right.
what, I don't think anything would make. I wouldn't mind getting off that bus with that Rangers boys are off and walking up there and watch them all go nuts. I think I would thrive on it. Southside and then Smurf.
Aye, I've said it many a time. You just get off that bus, puff your chest out and walk in that dump and do what you did today, try and get the Rangers victory and get back up the road. Aye, because Ibrox and the pavement's closer to the stadium and that, they can just walk in off the bus 3 steps and they're inside to the marble staircase and that, you know, the usual. So, James, I don't worry about it too much, to be honest. The most important thing is when you go up there that you try and get a victory, and that's what's the most important thing. We don't get treated any better when we travel up there. Go up there for 10:30 and all that. Try to get you in the stadium before 11 o'clock for a 12:30 kick-off. So we'll see. Maybe the goalposts will get moved for March when the time comes. But come March, we're supposed to be going up there 3,000 days. So we'll get the privilege of following the Rangers up to that dump. But we'll see if that happens, James, when the time comes.
What's stirred your passion about that subject before I bring Smurf in?
Pardon?
What's stirred your passion about the subject
Well,
about getting up there?
One of the things I believe in is when good men do nothing. That's what I believe in. You've got to stand up for yourself. When good men do nothing against evil or bad decisions or from other companies or people, we've got to stand up for ourselves. That's what I think's not been happening for the last 4 or 5 years. And the other thing is to avoid contention type of thing. To, like, okay, you were saying puff your chest, but sometimes maybe that would, imagine they've got 2,000 and we get in the back door. That would really annoy them. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes turning away from things like that would really annoy them. And I just think it would be a better way to do it and go through all that contention type of thing. And that's why I felt that way, because I think it would be a better way to deal with them. But even write to the SFA and say, look, we want to do this, we want to do that. Write to them and say about some of the decisions that happen.
If we go to the same address, James.
What?
If we go to the same address.
What address?
You explain all that.
If you're writing to the SFA, it ends up at Parkhead anyway.
All right. Well, Still right to them. I think.
All right. All right. We'll bring in Smurf. Smurf.
I couldn't. Evening, James.
I'll agree with him.
I couldn't disagree more with you. Fundamentally, for two reasons. If you were to make that same suggestion to Jock Wallace, I think his second word would be off. I can't imagine John Gregg not having the character to walk through that lot into that midden and no puff his chest out and actually thrive off it, actually use it as fuel to motivate himself and his team. And I think if you can't do that, you shouldn't be at Rangers. So it's almost bordering on, it's almost an admission that you're intimidated, and it borders on sort of cowardice. You need a certain character to play for Rangers and go there. If you can't do it, no business being there. And I also believe that if you're going to write and make complaints, you need to have a subject to write about. And so you need evidence, you need a subject. So therefore, when your players are being abused, etc., as they walk into that gives you the ammunition to send letters. But I would never, ever, ever contemplate Rangers players in a side door to avoid the animals that support them. No chance, not a chance. And if anybody I felt was intimidated by it, I think.
Yeah, right to reply, James, and then we'll move on.
Right, well, it's like anything else. I respect everybody's opinion, but I don't think it's cowardness, but I respect your opinion. And it's like everything, everybody's got a different opinion about football and managing football and an opinion about life. Like being a Christian, that's blessed are the peacemakers. And it's nothing to do with cowardness of football. You could still be a Christian and be one of the greatest players in the world, because a lot of them cross themselves when they go over that line, especially from Argentina, and they're the best. They're the best team in the world. So it's nothing to do with. It's to avoid contention. It's nothing to do with cowardness. It's to say we don't need the players to get through that. We're there to play football, not to take all that hate from that lot. You know what I mean?
James understands exactly what you're saying, and I totally. What you're saying is turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
But you don't need to hide and you don't need to run away. In order to turn the other cheek, to be sort of engaging with this stuff.
Anyway, gents, I'll cut across. We've been joined by Bob Chair. Evening, Bob Chair.
Good evening, Arts. Good evening, everyone. How are we all tonight?
Good.
Well, that's good. But a laboured performance last night.
Laboured. That's a good way to sum it up. Bob Chair, carry on.
I thought it was started off brightly, but went into like I said, just a laboured performance.
That's fair.
We were never going to lose anything at the game, but we made it a lot harder than it should have been. But picked up the points into the international break. Time to gather ourselves, maybe get the injuries cleared up and back fresh for the game at Kilmarnock. That's the best way to sum it up and look at it, I suppose.
Southside.
The most important thing, Bob, you get the points after your European games. They're the hard ones, the recovery time and stuff. We had the home game. I didn't think we were going to batter them by 4, 5, 6, nothing. The most important thing was to get the 3 points. When I seen the team, I thought, right, okay. Dessers was just Dessers that day. Nothing happened from, nothing linked up, nothing worked. We had a good chance of a header, and then for then on. But Tierney was a bright spark. He got us the 2 goals. I think Hadji, great pass for his second goal. And he went round the player the other side. The normal, maybe the player thought he'd cut in his left, and he went his outside and stuck it in with his right foot. Something different. So at the end of the day, we wanted a better performance, but the most important thing was the 3 points. Bob, Chair.
Oh, that's absolutely right. Aye. It was good to see Angie back, but there you go. There's the luck of the Rangers again. I don't think it was a sending off. I don't think he meant to intentionally injure the boy.
No,
You know,
I think,
he stuck his leg in
you might be
we commonly call it a forward challenge, yeah? Sorry.
You think you might be in the minority on here, mate. I think we all agreed that if it happened to one of us, we'd be looking for a red card. Albert.
Aye, definitely, mate. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think he tried to hurt the boy. It's just that he just caught him late. He caught him high. It's one of the ones. If it did happen to a Rangers player, you'd be jumping up and down, mate. You really would. But that aside, you know what I mean? It's just one of the things. Unfortunate for the boy. As the guy said last night, he's played for 18 months and his first game back he gets sent off. But there you go. As you say, the luck of the Rangers, isn't it, mate?
Oh, this will be interesting. Smith and James, would you have got upset with that tackle, or would you have turned the other cheek, gentlemen?
Oh, I wouldn't have turned the other cheek. Oh.
Who has to go first?
Smith, you're awful quiet. Move closer to your mic or something. Turn your volume up, mate.
You talking to
No,
me?
I wouldn't have. No, he's
Smith,
talking to me.
On you go, Smith.
I certainly wouldn't have shut to any tackle, no. I wouldn't have been turning any cheek.
No, if that tackle last night, would you have been angry if it was made on you?
Oh, I'd have snapped it. Aye, of course I would have. And listen, the only bad decision around that tackle, let's get it right, is the fact the referee gave it as a yellow first and foremost. It's a shocking decision giving that a yellow. It's a straight red all day long. And
yeah. James?
It was a straight red, but was a guy wearing proper shin pads for a
that's
start.
another debate, mate. That was another debate. I think they were running his ankles, mate. If they weren't there, they couldn't see them.
And also I thought that some players played well in the game, some players didn't. Devil, for instance, is a waste of time.
Well, he was last night, mate. He was last night because he never got in the park.
I know, I'm just saying that he's not been playing very good. But I think you're right. Whoever said play the people in the right positions. There are too many people in the wrong positions. Play McCausland as a number 10. Play them in that position.
And you come, Bob, Jer, so, mate, you're on your own. We all think it was a red card, Bob.
Well, I thought it was a forward challenge, but there you go. That's how good in Arnold's history is a red card, and that's it.
No.
Yeah, I felt sorry about Yanis Hadji. I thought he played quite well when he came on. As you said, a terrific pass for Czerny's second goal. But the boys have played for a long time. Served his suspension, got him back in the squad again. You'll be an asset to us. I'm sure of that. So as you say, we are where we are, and on we go into this damned international break and back fresh again. Hopefully, with injuries cleared up, and a lot of them cleared up anyway. A few of them cleared up into the game in that plastic pitch as come on it, and then it's a tough programme after that, I believe.
It's well, in the injury front, I don't think it's looking good for Cortez Southside, does it?
No, it does not. I said he was going to be a wee while out, which I don't know what's happened. Don't know if he's come back and broke down or whether he's just, this is the length of time that the injury's going to take to heal. Disappointed because I think he makes a difference for the short times that we've seen him. But he's not having any luck. So time will tell. But I thought I was hoping he'd have been back after the international break, but after the manager's comments, it could be well into November or something like that before we start to maybe see him come back up, but it sounds like. That's me being hopeful in November.
Yeah, I know. As I said, I think he's got Kemar Locker all there.
Aye, well, it's Danilo batoned on him. You know, you put a pen through the three of them, made a chocolate of the three of them. Never seem to get them fit. I think they've all fighting over his locker, by the way, and fighting over that treatment table, the three of them. They never seem to be fit, ever. Spending a lot of money on them as well. Big wages. Especially Matondo and Danilo. They'll be on big wages, they too. So it's just one of the things, isn't it? We can't seem to get them fit. You can't seem to get them fit. But again, Cortez, we don't know what happened this time. It just seemed to break down, and that's the end to that. And you go, oh, he's going to get a tidy up operation. We're led to believe. And you're thinking to yourself, well, it'll be a couple of weeks then, that'll be nothing. How long's he out now? That's what, over a month now he's been out.
Aye. Well, let's be honest, he's never really started, has he? You know,
No.
You know, he's bits and pieces and done all right for one half at Tannadice, and then, you know, bang, gone again. You know, I don't know if we're cursed or just, I don't know. Can I put my finger on it, Bob, Gia?
I don't think any of us can put their finger on it. We've spoken about this that much, about injuries. It's incredible, the amount of injuries that Rangers sustain. It's terrible. Bringing people in, you say Danilo's the prime example at the moment. You bring people in for big money, you bring them big wages, and they're never on the park. They will never know we're in cups and leagues. Kind of get a fully fit squad on the park, but you've just got to, simple as, if fixtures come along, you just go get on with it and go with the squad that you've got. What about Lawrence? What's the latest with him?
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get this straight for the horse's mouth. Southside.
Just for you, Bob J, Tom Lawrence will be fit and available after the international break.
That's great. That's great because Tom Lawrence was starting to show. He's played well recently, really well, and to me he was getting fitter. It's the fittest I've seen him. And the great goal against the Hibs, the goal at Tannadice, and the good performance in Malmo. So Tom Lawrence was coming on to a bit again. I'm glad he'll be fit and ready to go. That's a piece of good news. Danilo, and what about Gilmas? He's a bit fit as well, as you know. I've seen a wee clip on YouTube.
Danilo and Yilmaz are starting to train, mate. So will be due an injury within the next 2 weeks, I'll be.
Wee Ridvan. Surprised that wee Ridvan, he's near Southside's nearly as tall as him. I'm surprised at that.
That'll be in the photographs in the book, mate.
It is, mate. The proof is the pudding. There, it's there. It's there. It's there in front of you. Aye, wee Ridvan, I heard he's training anyway. And he's. Let's be honest about it. A left back's the last thing we're needing at the moment. We've got wall-to-wall left backs. It's outside left we need, mate. And centre forwards.
See if you report the directors. Ridvan, Danilo, Matondo, Cortez, mate. It's 20 million quid plus the wages, so you're maybe then talking about another 6 million in wages. Would that be fair, Southside? Yeah, in a year.
Aye.
So you're talking about 8 players, what they've contributed. You're getting close for 1 year. Just 4 players, 30 million quid. Well, maybe not on the one hit. You get my point, big man, eh?
Aye, it's money that we should be able to recycle in it. That's what we should be able to do with it.
Aye, for what the return of one of them because of injuries or bad luck, whatever you want to say, it's pretty frightening, really, isn't it? James for Tennessee.
Yeah, the injuries have been really bad, but I've said before, some people can't settle into a club because it's a different culture. Like my boss who I worked for, he was a missionary in Rosario where Messi grew up, and they knew Messi was going to be a great player. But the problem there was the Falklands, the Malvinas, where you couldn't say you were English there because a lot of people died in that war, and some people don't forget the war. And Di Maria, his wife came out and said that Manchester was a complete dump. So I'm not saying he's Colombian, Cortez, but I'm just saying some people don't settle in an area like Glasgow and they want out of it. And maybe that's why they don't give more than 110% or 100%. Sometimes,
but then that's where your recruitment's got to be right.
Yeah.
You've got to look at people's characters. You don't. It's looking at their ability is only part of the picture. Albert.
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. But again, it's like interviews. You never know. In interviews, you can get you think you've got a star in your hands here, and you know. Once you get them the job and they're started the job, you'd find out you've not got a start. It's just one of these things. It's a difficult thing to work out whether somebody's going to settle or not going to settle. But the 4 players that you mentioned there is right, mate. We're not getting enough return, and it's a bad, as it sits at the moment, that's a bad investment in these 4 players. And we need to turn that bad investment into a good investment. We need to get these players fit, and that's a fact, mate. And that's what I'd be. If I was Clement, I'd be setting the task with the medical team and the fitness. These 4 boys need to be fit. They need to get them fit and ready and available to play, because that's a big investment for our club, a big investment. And it's an investment we can't afford to be bad. It's at least 2, probably 3, and preferably the 4 odd turn this round and become great Rangers players. Because we can't afford this. These are the sort of things getting into the next transfer windows, and he's trying to build his squad. We can't afford to make these mistakes, mate. These times for these mistakes are by. You maybe have to hit 1 out of every 6 players doesn't settle in or is no good enough or whatever. But we can't have 4 out of every 6 players that are no good enough, mate. It's just, or they're injured or whatever reason, but they're not producing on the park. That's a luxury we cannot afford.
Mm-hmm. Listen, when you look up, I mean, that's 3 different managers signed the 4 players. I think Giovanni signed Matondo and what else did we mention? Redvan, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Michael Beale signed Danilo. And then obviously Clement's been involved with bringing in Cortez twice, obviously making him our player. So it's you can't put it down to one man, but when you look at it collectively, it's a lot of money and a lot of wages disappearing outside, isn't it?
It is, because it's the one thing that we strive to get players fit all the time, because we've had that many injuries throughout so many seasons. But for us now, Cortez, I think the manager would like to be working with him straight away. Whether he would probably have used Yilmaz as much, I don't know, because he brought in Yefty, but he probably relied on Redvan just to fill in there straight away, I think, if he didn't get the jersey. But we need them fit, and we need them on the park. Danilo's just been unlucky. Just when we thought he'd get him back, and if I look at him and Ignamani, when I look at 2 of them, I think Danilo's a bit further down the pecking order, so I'm hoping he'll get back to being fit ox and see if we can get him contributing to the team. We need them working all the time. We need them on the park.
Ignamani, when you mentioned him, when he came on against the United, we seen him with, obviously it was his second performance. You're thinking, all right, but since the Hibs game and then again last night, he's not been involved much, has he? He looks really raw and a big game.
I'll be honest, right? See, and Wilbert could probably back us up. See, for what we've seen off Lovelace for being a young boy, and it's only been in the B team, but he has quite explosive pace and he's quite direct, and he knows where the back of the net was in the B team when he was fit. He'd be worth. I would actually have probably put him on at the moment before Ignamani, but see, because we're spent the outlay in Ignamani, he'll always get that chance first. But Lovelace is back fit as well, and he's been in all the squads. Clement's just refusing to play some of them at any time. Well, obviously we've been struggling in games, but I thought the prime example was the Ross County game when he had 2 or 3 young boys on the bench and we went back to the same old. Here's Kieran Dowell coming on, and that's, I think, we're doing it all. I think we're just wasting all these boys. They're just sitting on the bench and they're just ticking boxes, as Albert says, with no chance of looking like they're even going to get a chance to come on at any point and see if they've got anything about them. If they're on the bench, no, if they're not getting nothing about them, then what you put them on the bench for?
Sometimes I don't know if a nine substitutes is a good thing, James.
Yeah, I was thinking, Lawrence, about shooting. Lawrence has always had a good shot. He has a good shot, and sometimes we can't hit the ball properly. He could give them some lessons how to shoot and so forth. But there's too many players. Diamandi was good at the start and they drop off. Dessers was conference league top scorer. And how can he go from that to can't even trap a ball? There's something far wrong with some of these players. Are we wasting them, or I don't know what the problem is. Dessers should be able to do a lot better than he has in the last 3 games. You know what I mean? We paid $4 million.
I'll get Bob just a view on that. Bob, J?
A view on Dessers.
Aye.
I mean, the players in general. Aye, it's hard, again, it's like injuries. It's hard to define. You just don't know what their attitude is. If they're sitting saying, "Oh, I've signed for this club. I really didn't like being here. But at the end of the day, I'm going to pick up thousands of pounds in wages every week." Is that a fair situation? No, I didn't think so. I mean, these people knew what they were coming into, knew the country they were going to, I'm not so much fair about that. Aye, they did. They knew the environment they were going into. That's the whole thing. So they should do the decent thing and try their best for the club. You can't help get an injury. Injuries are part of the game. But when they're playing for the club, surely they're going to try their level best. Do you mind that fellow we picked up in Middlesbrough and Barry Ferguson went, that Emerson? Oh, it was rumoured that he played at Middlesbrough along with Ravanelli and that at that time. Do you mind of that? And seemingly his wife didn't like the local coffee, so she wanted to go in. But I'm sorry, I don't care how temperamental these people can be, but this is the stories that you hear. You don't know about these guys. Their temperament. They've got so much money they don't care what to do with it. But they should do the decent thing. If a club's willing to sign them, put the outlay on them, as you say, with wages, etc., they should be decent enough to try and 100% and give the club something back. I'm sure you'll all agree on that. Surely. I'm not saying anybody's feigning injury or anything like that.
Your view on Dessers, all bit.
View on Dessers, he's no been doing it. I've seen him spitting the dummy out last night. But I think the boy was more frustrated with himself than he was with the manager. I think he knew he was having a bad game. And Dessers seems to be a bit of a whipping boy. The new kind of, if he doesn't score every 10 minutes, everybody's on his back. And he tries his heart out the big game. But we really need a prolific goal scorer, and have done for a while. And they cost money, so we'll just have to put up with Big Cyril in the meantime. So I'll come good for him again. He'll find the back of the net again. I'm sure he will. I felt a bit sorry for him last night, actually.
I don't know if it's just his goal scoring is his only problem, Albert.
My opinion is he's just a bad player. I don't think he's a good player at all. He does enough. No, I mean he does bits and pieces and he can score a goal, but he's just. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he leads the line well enough, and I don't think he's brings players into play and how to play up and things like that. The basics are centre forward play. I don't think he does well. He can score a goal, and he got 20 odd goals last season. And if you look at that and think about it, you go, "Well, that's a good return for a centre forward." But then you think about when he's scoring and who he's scoring against. It's not so. It doesn't stack up so good. But hey ho, here's what we've got at the moment, and there's no other choice at the moment. And that's why I think Igaman should go on, no on loan, but play with a B team. Every B team game he should be playing. And see this fortnight. This is I want to bring up this fortnight. I've got 4 players or 5 players, possibly 6. They shouldn't be sitting with their feet up and with a wee break over this fortnight. They should be all playing in the B team. All of them playing every competitive game. They should be playing. Igaman, Lovelace, Fraser, King, McKinnon, and I'm even going to say Kelly. These players should be playing. If there's any competitive football with a Rangers team over this fortnight, they should all be playing. Full 90 minutes. No 20 minutes, full 90 minutes for the lot of them.
I don't know if some of them could play 90 minutes because it's been that long Southside.
Some of them might have to be registered with a B team and they might not be able to fund them all in as well. That's another issue I think they had. No, you're right. If you can maybe arrange a friendly or something against some other team for England, maybe Hawk and Howie, then it might be good to get them a game, get some game time. Because they would need it and probably play Balogun and all. Or else just try and get a team just to play what's left at Hawk and Howie. All bear that's not actually been featured, you know. You could probably fling NCL into that and all and get them some games to give them some time, you know.
Because if you look at the players, there's no other way of getting them fit and up to game pace. No other way at all. No reserve football. Nowhere to play. So you're saying, well, that's a waste of time. You're just sitting with, and I don't understand these big squads as well. You're sitting with 25 to 30 players and you're only basically mincing about with 18 players on a regular basis. There's 12 players sitting about doing nothing. Absolutely doing nothing. And then when the chips are down and we get injuries and suspensions, we all turn to them and say, throw them on and go, right, do it. The boy's not kicked a ball for about 5 months. There's King. How many games has King played in the last 2 years? It's ridiculous. It's just a waste. It's a waste of time, if you ask me, mate. But that's the way it is at the moment. But we need to readdress it. We need to come up with some idea to get these boys playing. They need football. They need to be on a park playing football. So when they're ready, we require them, they're ready to play. And Igaband is the one that I'm more concerned about than any of them, because you're going to have to rely on this boy. This boy eventually is going to come good, and you'll get a lot of money for him. But you're not going to get a lot of money for him. He's just sitting on the bench, coming on doing 20-minute parts every other game. That's not going to work. That certainly is not going to work. You seen it last night. The boy's struggling to get up to the pace of the game. And it's just lack of game time. That's all it is. It's no ability. It's just lack of game time.
All right, gentlemen. We're moving towards the end of the show, but some interesting debate tonight, Mr. James from Tennessee.
Yeah. I was just going to make a final small point. It's a proven fact, as people move to another country, they hit a high for the first month or so, and then they hit a low, and it could go on for a long period of time, and then they get used to it. So sometimes moving to another country, it takes time with some of these players because they're not used to Scotland. They come from Colombia, Albania, the Netherlands, Brazil. It takes time.
I get that, mate. I get that. But again, that's where you've got to look for your recruitment and how you treat players. I mean, you've got to remember that these boys don't get brought in with other people who move to work abroad. The way they're treated is so different for everyday life, Albert.
Aye, they get pampered. They get wined and dined, basically, mate. If you're going to a new job yourself, you're thrown into the deep end. Whatever you're doing. So these players don't get it, and they get treated well at Ibrox. They're given that. It's both like Howie and Ibrox itself. The background staff treat them really well. So you know that by everyone that leaves, they're all sad to leave, and they mention all the people in the background every time they're leaving. So it's not the same thing, you know. And I understand. Bob just said that their wives might not like it. They might be. They're no mixing well, or they don't like a coffee shop, or whatever it is. There's not enough dress shops, or whatever it is. You never know.
It's a hard game, that coffee game, Albert, isn't it?
Aye. Well, I know that. I go for a coffee with Southside, and we go to try out 4 or 5 shops before he settles down. He's a coffee snob, him.
I know. Right, last word for your good self, James.
Yeah, good show. Nice to speak to you again. I've been on a couple of times the last week. It's been a bit of a record. Might give you a break for a month or so.
All right. Cheers, mate. It's always good to have you on. Bob,
Aye, thanks for having me on tonight. I'm just one of the ones I remember for the days of Emerson, his wife, and I like the coffee. It's a temperament thing with these people. But at the end of the day, as I say, they're getting paid big wages. As the boys said, they're getting treated very, very well with the club. And they should respect that. That's my point on it. Anyway, I'll see you a week Wednesday. Is that the next show out?
You tell me, Bob J. You know me already.
Oh, I didn't care. I mean, I was talking to the guys here and said we might be off for the international break.
You're spot on.
Indicate me, I don't know.
Rangers Radio will be taking a break with the international break, and we will be back a week on Wednesday. Yeah, a week on Wednesday, because obviously.
Oh, I'm on the ball, son.
Nah, you're on the ball.
Right. I'm away for a cup of coffee.
All right, cheers, Bob J.
And if it's mine, you're no going to like it, definitely. Take care, lads.
Cheers,
See you later, pal.
Albert.
I enjoyed being on with yourself, Southside, Terry, thoughts. It was a good conversation tonight. I thought it was going to struggle because of the game wasn't very exciting, but good 3 points, good victory, mate. On to the next one, which is in a fortnight's time. But I enjoyed it tonight, mate.
Cheers, Southside.
I thoroughly enjoyed the night, mate. Being me a good self in Albert. You never know where the show's going to take us, you know. But yesterday we got to 3 points. So where we were, we know what we've got today. In fortnight's time, we'll be heading to Kilmarnock in a 12 o'clock kick-off. So hopefully we'll be picking up with 3 points that day. So time for a break, mate. Maybe a few days holiday, I think.
Yes, with Dessers to buses at Parkhead for employment law, you never know where we'll go on here, Southside.
No, not at all. That's the thing about the show, isn't it? You never know where it's going to go, what direction it's going to take.
And callers make the show. Listen, thanks to Smith, James from Tennessee and Bob J for joining us. Thanks to Albert and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back a week on Wednesday as we take a small break during the international break. Thanks for listening. Speak to you all soon. Take it away. Old School Blue.